Hi, how's everybody doing today? I'm Anthony, and we're here at the Basement Reef. We're an aquatic pet store and houseplant shop located in Columbia, Missouri. And today, we're here to talk all about our saltwater fish row, how it's set up, and how we maintain it. We do things a little bit differently from a lot of stores in that we use sponge filters and have a completely air-driven system. And so we're going to talk about what that looks like, why it works for us, why we chose it, and exactly how we take care of it here at the store. First, I guess we should go over exactly what a sponge filter is. It's these black objects you see in the tank. They use forced air to circulate water through a sponge, providing filtration. They provide some biological filtration, but that's not really why we use them. We like it because we can drive flow in each tank without having our systems tied together. This allows us to keep any pathogens isolated to a single tank, and allows us to medicate one tank at a time. And also, it allows the whole thing to be ran off of one linear piston air pump. That's right, all of the flow for all of the tanks in our store are provided from just this one pump. The only real drawback is that this thing is loud. You may have noticed we had it turned off at the beginning of this video. The air leaves the pump through a hose and goes into a length of PVC that runs across our entire ceiling over to where we keep our salt tanks. Here you can see that we've built some manifolds. This is where all of the sponge filters attach in. There's 2 on each side of our store. Then it goes back up to the ceiling, across another length of PVC, and over to our freshwater section. Being able to run both our saltwater and freshwater tanks off of the same equipment is another huge benefit of this type of setup. With air running back and forth across the entire length of our ceiling twice, it's really easy to set up a tank anywhere in the store and tie it right in. In fact, we did that just this last week with our import betas. Now, there is one part of our saltwater rack that's set up a little more traditionally. This top section of tanks, where we keep our invertebrates and captive bred fish, tie into a sump, where we grow a bunch of chaetomorph algae, and this is to cut down on the nitrates. With as many invertebrates as a pet store keeps, they create a lot, and that's also why we still run some sponge filters. That's just for extra aeration and oxygenation. When it comes to maintaining these tanks, these 2 275-gallon totes are really the key. The one on the left is where we run our reverse osmosis water, and the one on the right where we mix our salt. Believe it or not, we had to pull the front window off of the shop to get these things in. About the only argument I've ever heard against a setup like this is that the maintenance is more difficult than having all the tanks tied together, because essentially we maintain a few dozen instead of just one large system. For me though, that's exactly why I think this is easier. There's no pumps to turn off, you can start and stop a water change whenever. I simply drain tanks into this bucket, and if a customer comes in, I wheel it out of the way until they're gone. When it comes time for refilling the tanks, we simply run a hose from a submersible pump, right from the tote where we mix the salt water. It really couldn't be easier. All told, it's only about 30 minutes of maintenance once a week for us to clean all of our saltwater tanks. To us, this means that not only is our system set up to be easily expandable, but if we do so, we can fit it into our workflow really easily still. So, should you run a saltwater system with sponge filters? I don't know about long term, but for us, where we're essentially quarantining the fish for observation, it works wonderfully. We're confident enough in the system to feel completely comfortable keeping fish like this koi tank. That's really how we keep the fish here at the store. Pretty simple, right? As always, if this content interests you, please like and subscribe. Thanks.